people just do not stop and listen. And that's, if God or whoever you believe in had a pet peeve, that would be the number one thing, because it's so easy to do it, but people don't do it. Like, it's so easy to just stop and really hear what a person is trying to say and convey to you, instead of trying to either put your emotions in on it or just do this, that, and the third. The problem comes not when people are trying to give a message. The problem comes when people spin, twist a person's image. People just do this, that, and the third just to try to stop that message that they are trying to get out from really getting out. And that's the issue. The issue for all the Christians, or for anybody who believes in God, the issue isn't that the ones who believe aren't acting. The issue is nobody is putting in effort to listen. That is the issue. And we're not here to force you to listen to us. We're here to spread a message. But the issue just is the same. And it's been the same with freaking Jesus Christ or Yeshua, whoever you want to call that being in the flesh. It's always been the same. Jesus, Yeshua, has always dealt with people just not listening. Like, he'll say something, but you won't listen to it. You hear it, but you don't listen. You don't seek to understand exactly what that meant. You either take it as literal or just be like, oh, that ain't true. You don't try to look at the underlying message behind it. And that's the issue. That's the issue with what's happening nowadays, currently, right now. That's even. And what sparked this was when I was listening to a podcast with Joe Rogan and Kanye. And I was really listening in on what Kanye was trying to say. And I was like, huh. Like, the way people portrayed him versus when I listened and really understood what he was trying to convey. Like, it makes sense. And I understand why he would say something like that from personal experience. So for other people to try to slander his name, to try to steer other people's opinions of him, so that they can't even really go and listen for themselves, that's just an issue right then and there. So for all of you who are of God, no matter if you're religious or not, just know you're doing the right thing. You ain't the problem. It's everybody else that you're trying to convey that's the problem. Everybody else that's supposed to listen but aren't. And the best way I can describe this, basically Noah's Ark. You're trying to warn people. Like, you have no personal connection to a person. You're trying to warn people of a flood, or you're trying to tell them of treasure that's somewhere, but they're not listening. They're not trying to process how it is. All they're focused on is either treasure, or they're just dismissing you, being like, oh, there's no flood coming. There's no flood coming. What he talking about? Then when it finally comes, now all of a sudden you're running, screaming, you're being like, why didn't I listen? Why didn't I listen? Why didn't I listen? You had the choice to listen. That's the thing. You had the choice to listen. You just chose not to. You chose not to understand that particular being. No matter if it was Kanye, Yeshua, or any of those in history. Even freaking Muhammad. Freaking MLK. Y'all chose not to listen to those types of leaders. And there are people who aren't even famous that y'all chose not to listen to. And then when something happened, now all of a sudden y'all are just up in arms, bearing arms, this, that, and the third. When really, be honest with yourself, y'all are the problem. Instead of y'all just listening and just being like, oh, that ain't true, just really hear what they are trying to convey to you. Instead of just sidelining it or just trying to slander their name. Ooh, especially because here's the thing. For those of the negative side that will try to spin your freaking name, this, that, and the third, just so other people don't hear it, so that they don't get help. There are messed up people in this world like that. No matter how happy I may seem on the outside, just know that I do acknowledge all of this that's happening right now, which is why I still strive to be like this. Because yes, we do have a bunch of people that are essayed, a bunch of people that are murdered, a bunch of people that are doing this, that, and the third, and you have a bunch of people that are trying to be that messed up in the head, and they, in their minds, think that it's right when it really isn't, and that's just truth. There's a difference between a subjective truth and an objective truth. If it's subjective, then that's personal to you. When it's objective, it's true no matter what you change about it, no matter what view you look at it. It's like a penguin. You can say that it's a bird, you can say that it's a winter animal, but no matter which way you look at it, it's a penguin, no matter which angle you try to spin it towards. And it's when people try to spin a perspective on truth, that's where the issue comes. You cannot spin a perspective on truth. And if you do, it's good to try to theorize and think about that. But at the same time, when you say that that perspective is truth, that's where the issue comes. A perspective is not truth, it's just another way of seeing it. That doesn't mean that it is the way it is. Like, you can just look at a person who's just crashing out on a person, and you can just be like, oh, he volatile, he angry, he this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, that person could have had a bad day. You wouldn't have even known it. That person could have just had a bad day. And that's just the only time that you would have seen that person. Right? So a perspective is not even a truth. Because anybody can see a specific truth flipped or twisted on his head a certain type of way. Which is why I am a big advocate, and I keep saying this, and I will keep saying this. Do not just listen to what other people are telling you. Don't even listen to what I'm telling you. Go and seek out for yourself the truth before you go and listen to other people and see what they're trying to convey to you. Right? Because if you just listen to this person, this person, this person, this person, and even me, you're not even gonna know exactly how to move. Which is why in my new song that I just dropped today, I say, or that God conveyed to me, sit and listen. Just sit in silence and just be. And just hear the words that I am trying to convey to you. Even if they don't make sense now, take that into consideration. Keep that in the back of your mind so that when it do happen, you're like, oh, okay, I see what you're trying to say to me. You feel what I'm saying? But not enough people, I wouldn't even say that. And I know how many of these Christians are probably going to be on my head, but I don't care. We've seen how this Christian community go towards people that are actually trying to help them. So I'm going to say this. God, as much of a being that I have and as much of a being that I am in trusting you, you are doing this so inefficient. I'm going to be so honest. Just putting a whole bunch of people on this planet and be like, okay, just spread this message and just hope and pray. And just let's just hope that everybody else gets converted or just switches a type of way, when I don't even believe that's the only way. Like, you shouldn't just have to drop a bunch of human beings on a planet of negative people and be like, okay, spread the message, and if they don't listen, oh well, you did what I told you. Mm-mm. Because then what type of fulfillment do you have personally? Like, yes, you're fulfilling God, but there's always going to be some lump in your stomach that's being like, this doesn't feel like me, type of thing. And so, I believe we're on here to make a heaven on earth. We're not just here to convert people, because if you see the masses now, there are a bunch of people who do believe. Like, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it, which is why there's always these posts that back then, I don't even know if it's happening now. And even now, I'm gonna be honest, even now, I see it on YouTube where people just put these posts and be like, share or comment if you believe in God or share to upset Satan, this, that, and the third. They're only things to boost up clicks and everything else. But even still, I always find that as pointless because of the amount of people who I could just go walk up to and be like, "What do you believe in?" And while yes, in the Americas is mostly Christianity, all across the globe is probably a whole other different religion, and it's probably the same exact path to get to that one omnipotent being. And that's really the issue. Like, there are multiple ways that people see God. People see God as Buddha, people see God as Shiva Ishnu, people see God as the universe. It's all the same. Just this one source that you go to that'll protect you, that you're a part of, and it is a part of you. That is what it has always been, no matter what religion you go to. Yes, each and every religion does something different, but it all is trying to make you a better person and to make others feel better so that we can all come together. And if you look throughout each and every religious text, it's always show love for others and show love for yourself and show love to the Creator. That's all it is. Love to the Creator, love to yourself, love to others. And that's the universal freaking message. And it's as corny as it sounds, but it's true. The universal message and the universal language is love, no matter which way you look at it. And so when people say, "Oh, you should turn your life to God, you should do this, you should do that," I don't even think you should. All I would say is that you should follow what your heart says to you. Don't just listen to everybody else. Follow your heart. If you're guided to Buddha, then do that. If you're guided to the universe, do that. If you're guided to God and the universe, do that. They're both the same exact thing. They're all the same thing. Which ties into why we are really here. Because if everyone, even God, the Creator, even us, and even our neighbors just want to experience love, then the goal isn't to just convert everybody to a specific religion. The goal is to convert people to love. The goal is to just bring more love in the universe. That's just the entire goal. Is that simple. And when you break it down like that, when you see the bigger picture, you just take a step back and see what everyone is really saying. You see that the main message is that spread love to others, spread love to yourself, and spread love to the one that gave you creation. Which is why I don't believe that we should be trying to convert people. We should just try to build a better planet for ourselves and for others. That's what we should really try to do. Like, we should really just create music that can uplift people and make people feel good. Like, yes, you can have music that you should jam with, but it shouldn't be anything that could compromise your love or that can compromise your mental state. It should be something that could help you get closer to that. And that's the issue with many people nowadays. Many people would choose so many other things other than love. No matter how they may think love is, no matter how they may go about it, they will choose other means, other ways that go against the ways of love. And we should get closer to that. Which is why, again, I will reiterate this. We're not here to spread the message. We're here to build a heaven on earth. Because I will say this, and this is my entire belief: heaven and hell is in the head. Heaven and hell is in your mind. Meaning, if your mind is in discourse, in dis-ease, you're in hell. Which is why when people pass on, that's how you get specific people saying they seen this and specific people saying they seen that. That's because of the state of their mind when they passed on. If they were a peaceful person and they passed on and they came back to life, they would see heaven because in their mind they have maintained that peaceful state. As opposed to a person who's always in chaos, who's always in discourse, always in the brain, and they pass on into that other life, they're more likely to see hell, not because of their actions, but because of their mental state thereof. So when people say you should do things so that you can avoid going to hell, I'd say do things to put your mind at ease. Meaning, let go of those enemies. Let go of people who serve you nothing. Let go of everything that just isn't right for you. Because I guarantee you, the moment that you do is the moment that you reach that peaceful state. And that's the moment that you can live heaven on earth. Like people think, oh, when I die, I can go to heaven. No, you can have heaven right here, right now. That's the message that we've been trying to preach to people, that many people have been trying to preach to people, is that heaven is here and so is hell. It is up to you to make a heaven out of whatever type of mess we have here, which is why we've been placed on here, which is why people have protection. Like, and to those who believe in God or believe in something, if you are still protected to this day, no matter how many people try to take you out, why wouldn't you try to make this heaven for yourself? You feel what I'm saying? If you're protected with every single step and walk that you take every single freaking day, why wouldn't you take that chance on yourself? Especially because God did, the universe did, Buddha did, all of them did. Why not you? You feel what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. Like everybody at this point already believe in a higher source, no matter which. And I'm gonna keep reiterating this because people have to understand it's the same thing universally, no matter if you go to China, Brazil, Japan, don't matter. And so when you create a way and an avenue for multiple people to express love via fun things, experiencing your inner child, or just feeling uplifting music, just painting, creating certain type of art, building, or just some type of purpose that allows them to feel more love. When you create avenues that can allow more avenues for people to create love for themselves and others, that is when you know you succeeded. That is when you know that you serve God, because you've done exactly what God wanted you to do. Create a way to create love for yourself and an avenue to create love for yourself and others. That is how you do it. You create avenues of love. You don't just create one thing, you create multiple things that multiple people can experience. Because not everybody is gonna want to drive a car. Some people want to fly a plane and others want boats. And there very few want a submarine. You feel what I'm saying? And it comes full circle when you really think about it. Those kids that we raise up, if we do not give them love, they're from those that they didn't get love from, or they're gonna give out that same exact negative energy, which is why it always starts in the home. It always starts with how a person was raised. And sometimes you'll have those very few who are just born like that. And there's nothing that you can do to stop it. And I will keep reiterating this. That shouldn't stop you from having heaven on earth. Meaning, kids, cover your ears. If someone else is having a shitty day, that doesn't mean that you can't have a great one. And I'm gonna leave it at. And now we're gonna wrap this up with something, because I still want to convey to every single one how easy it is for you to experience heaven. For you to just find something that'll make you happy, to find other ways to make other people happy. Because that truly does make you happy. Like if you just speak to a person or just wave at them or just ask them a question because you want to be curious about who they are, you don't know how much that helps out a person. Like, and I remember there's Matt Pat on this one video after he retired where he said he helped out a kid because that kid could have unalived himself. But because Matt chose to speak with that kid and sat by him in gym, that kid chose not to. You truly do have way more power than you think. And people think, what can I do to change this entire planet? Well, it's the same way that you would try to change yourself. If you wanted to change your lifestyle, to change your diet, to do anything, you start small. Do something that you believe would get you closer to that, and you start small. If you want to become a great, not a receptionist, conversationalist, you would practice, or you would just walk up to a person, or you would just say, hey, and then just walk off. That's a win for you. And then you just do more every day, every day, every day, every day, every day until it compounds into that. So if you want to change the world, start small. And for people like me, today, if you start small and just even wave at a person, a single person, or you just hug a family member because they've been down for a little bit, or you just stop and pause, listen to what the divine source has to say, or even just create something for your inner child. As a matter of fact, or just eat something unhealthy for your inner child, even though you know it's unhealthy, because it's going to get you closer to that love. And that's really what this life is about. Life is about love, no matter how shitty it is. No matter how shitty it is, we strive to attain love. And it's easy because we can give it. And it's hard because other people, it seems like they won't give it to us. But let's start today. Give love to your neighbors and give love to others. Because I guarantee you, that kid that you gave a lollipop to, or that kid that you bought a toy for, would probably be able to create so many freaking theme parks, water parks, a chocolate factory. Be the next, I wouldn't even say be the next Kanye, be the next musical star, be the next Van Gogh or Da Vinci, be the next Tesla or Einstein, but in a way that propels them to want to give love to themselves and others and to the Creator. The more that you step into that love, the closer you get to heaven. Heaven is love and love is heaven. And we'll leave it at that. And as always, stay peaceful, blessed up, miracled up, and know that you will appreciate and well taken care of by the divine one above all the high source, God, as well as everyone that truly and genuinely and deeply cares about you deep within their souls. Always remember that here you are loved. We care about you here. If no one else does, we do. I do. Know that no matter what, we are always here to give that listening ear. That community tab on my YouTube, you can always hit that up. You can always comment on it. If y'all can't, y'all let me know on one of my videos. I'll see what I can do. But just know, we're here for you if you need love, or if you need somebody to talk to, because you matter. In this lifetime, and the others, and the next, you matter. So smile today, okay? Now come in for this hug, yeah, come in. Yeah. And as always, I share peace. Hold up, remove the green. And as always, I share peace out of you.